simulcast The Neil Haley Show and the Business Spotlight podcast with our host, Scott Smith from Makeda. How are you, Scott? And, think about specifically enough the whole process of how important it is that our guest teaches us about the whole sense of networking, business, results. And without it, you can't be a business. Isn't that true, Scott? There's just so much to it. And our
Absolutely
guest
true.
today is going to teach us some really cool stuff, right?
I'm going to do my best.
Good, Scott. Introduce our guest. Go.
Awesome. Thanks, Neil. Hi, Ashley.
Hey, how are you doing today?
So great. Really glad. Thank you for joining us. Really glad you're here. So I want to start off and just introduce you. So you founded the Ignite Collective Agency, right?
Yes,
Can
sir,
you
I
tell
did.
us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so Ignite Collective Agency is a business and technology consulting firm. And what we specialize in is integrating different technologies and hyper personalizing sales and networking within companies. So we do a lot of things, but we found that there's not just one problem in business. One problem is kind of tied in a network, and that is what we try to help with. And we find that no business is alike. So every strategy and solution that we come up with is custom made to your business and to the problems that you're facing.
And that's important. So you're really business to business. You're not going to be like personal branding. You're more focusing on businesses who you work with. Is that correct?
Yes. So we are primarily B2B. We work with a lot of solopreneurs or, single agents as well, but primarily B2B or helping, one man businesses kind of get themselves off the ground.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah, that's great. So, all right. So just kind of starting informally, I had somebody ask me this question once. What is your favorite food?
Oh, my favorite food. That is long-winded right there.
I know, right?
I think my favorite food, to be honest, like I love white rice. I'm obsessed with white rice in any way, shape, or form. You put it in a Chipotle bowl, I'm happy. You eat it with vegetables, I'm happy. So white rice is definitely up there.
Oh, wow. Okay. So I'm Chinese and pizza, and I'm gluten free, by the way, Scott. I only go straight gluten free. So it's a little bit of a challenge. It's not dietary reasons, it's health reasons. I've gone gluten. Now, and Scott, what I think that what Ashley does, which is so important, is technology. A lot of solopreneurs and entrepreneurs, and I wanted to get Scott's take on this because Scott's seeing it firsthand working with me on some specific things with his team, is that technology becomes such a problem for the solopreneur, right, Scott? And then I know you have another question for Ashley.
I do. Yeah, I know technology really does create challenges. And so it's important to find the right tools and to make sure that you have access to them and that your team has access to them so that you can be as productive and make kind of qualitative decisions and qualitative growth in your business. And that's something that, kind of switching it up to technology, Neil, I'm glad you did that because that's something that I have found very beneficial in my business. So actually, we haven't talked about this much in depth, but I own a consulting firm as well. My business is about outsourcing consulting. So I help medium-sized businesses that are really looking to grow to do that by setting up offshore teams. And it's a really powerful tool to be able to have a team like that at your disposal, right? But they also need to have the right resources and the right technology tools. So I kind of have a two-part question for you. So the first part is, how do you stay updated with the latest trends and the technologies in your field? And then can you recommend any resources for our listeners who want to be up to date on those changes?
Yeah, absolutely. So keeping up with technology it's an impossible task. No one can actually do it effectively. And that is a big thing that is, especially currently, things change every single day, especially in sales. And where sales is it's not a science. There is no science behind it. So, people are constantly trying to either create something new or a better solution for that. So we do a lot of our research and discovery. We use technology to automate it. So, we'll have different AI agents that are consistently scraping the web for, tech that is tech news, tech whatever, so that we can kind of just get the major points of the day, so we can kind of see if there's anything worth us looking into. Because if you go down that rabbit hole of looking at every sales platform, every automated email agent, you'll be there forever. So we just try to stay really current and relevant with what we're using for each client, but it's not one size fits all. So like Apollo, for example, it's an end-to-end B2B platform. It's great for most of my clients, especially the ones that aren't super tech savvy, because they can do everything on that platform. But then you have clients that, are in the real estate industry that they can't get those key data points they need from a platform like Apollo. So we'll use something else. So it's really about me figuring out what you need for data and then finding the best platform to do that. And I think for any professionals that are trying to really keep up to date with what is current, LinkedIn is a great place. I love Substack, which is a forum that different entrepreneurs write newsletters on. But I think that finding out from real users what's working for them is usually the best bet, because there's just so much information, and you're not going to really figure out a platform until you figure out who's using it and how they actually feel about it.
So I'm going to address the whole thing in sales, that what's happened with the cost for ad spend going through the roof. If the economy does drop, it'll be good for us, because then the cost for ad spend will be less, because all the major Fortune 500 companies will dive off it and not spend as much money, which will give a better
Yep.
ad spend. Organic is so important, utilizing tools in sales and using tools that are easy for people to set up. This is my question for you, and this is kind of a story question. A lot of my clients that are doing more things that, hey, I'm doing their organic social media for them, I'm doing some of their ad creatives, they're setting up these sales funnels and these sales things that are too difficult for them to set up. And it's too cumbersome to figure out how to set it up, what to do, and all these different things. And once they get it set up, they think it's their end all be all. This is going to be my purple pill or blue pill that is going to solve my my sales problems. I'm always going to get sales. I'm going to automate them. It was interesting. I had somebody on from 60 Day Hustle on my show yesterday from Amazon, a Rudy Meyer. And Rudy, what really was interesting about Rudy is that what Rudy was able to bring to the table is that he said he spends so much money on advertising, so much you wouldn't believe. And you go and you tweak it and develop it. I think in sales, it's not going, you can't just turn on a sales machine and it starts printing money. Or you and I would print money today, right?
Yeah, I would be printing it immediately. But yeah, there's no, with the sales funnel, and what I think that this image of a sales funnel has been made to be is this quick money, get rich quick like thing we set up. And that is the farthest from the truth. I'm actually like very anti that idea. The only way you're going to win in sales is by creating a process where you're creating genuine relationships with your clients, and you're reaching out to a ideal client that actually needs what you have. If you don't have something that client needs, it doesn't work. You can't set up this funnel. And technology is super important, but the AI automated like messaging and stuff, yeah, it's convenient, but it doesn't work. You're being blocked into this sea of AI automated messaging. Yeah. And that's why we are really, really, really focused on teaching people, hey, this can make your life easier. Let's automate the things that are simple tasks, but your messaging to your clients, AI can't do that. I can't create a relationship with AI. I need to talk to my client, know my client. And that's where we stand out between a lot of these agencies. I'm not going to build you anything that's going to, print money. I'm not going to build you anything that is this sales funnel that you don't know how to use, and it doesn't work. So we really focus on what is your pain point in your business, and how do we get you to a point where you're creating genuine relationships with your clients, and you're creating genuine relationships with partners and an ecosystem around you that that is your sales funnel. It's not something on the internet that you plug in and runs for you.
Amen. And I've taught this to my clients is podcast, because what I love doing is my best sales funnel ever. Invite them on my show and let the money flow. I just came up with that, Scott. You have to write that down. But go ahead.
Love that.
Go ahead, and Scott, with your next question. But Scott, wouldn't you agree that's the thing, that technology, and you're pitched this as an entrepreneur every day, all these different special tech, it's going to change the game. Trust me, I've been in marketing for 20 years. There's no simple, or Ashley and I be printing money. We'd already be on some island, and we never would talk to anyone because we'd already be billionaires if that was the case.
No, honestly, right? So I want to circle back to AI, but before I do that, what I have learned over the years, and I am not a career salesperson. That has not been the focus of most of my career. I'm really a customer service, very kind of somebody you can come to, you can talk to, we can work through the issues and we can find resolutions. So sales for me, that transition to selling, because now that I have my own firm, it's important that I'm doing that right and I'm doing it well, which is how I met you, right, Ashley? So to make sure that I can be the best at that I can be. But it's about people, right? And people are always people, and they're going to respond like they're people. And when we use AI tools, it's great. Technology is spectacular. I'm a huge technology person. I just bought my wife, and she's going to hate me for this, I just bought her a technology gift for her birthday on Friday. Sweetheart, if you're listening.
No, so the good news is maybe she's not been following me on my social media platforms yet, because this is not going to go out for a while. So you're in good shape. You're batching this podcast. It'll go on radio. Unless she's a fan of me on radio, then, oh, well, it might be going out tomorrow. But that'll make me happy to know, hey, she listens to my radio show.
So I won't ruin the surprise then by saying that, but she hates technology, right? I love technology. But sales is about people and about meeting them where they're at and about helping them solve what their pain point is, right? So with AI and with how things are changing, and AI is becoming huge, right? I've been attending and participating in a weekly discussion on Thursdays about AI with Neil and with Julie Riga, who is a business coach. And the discussions are always fascinating, how we use it, what we do with it. Anyway, so looking forward, Ashley, what role do you see, knowing that, nothing is the be all and end all, right? What role do you see AI playing? And then what other innovations or trends do you think are going to be so significantly impactful that it'll kind of change the landscape of how businesses operate over the next decade?
So I really think that technology is kind of what you make of it. We have all these people using it to really automate and blast out millions of emails, or, get in touch with tons of people. And you can do that. But we also have to consider how people react to technology, how consumers react to technology. And what that's done is it's made consumers very guarded about where they're doing their business, because they can go online and click on anything. And it's this great, AI chatbot or whatever. But almost everyone you hear is like, I just want to talk to a real person. I just want to talk to a real person, because buying something is an intimate process, and you can't do that with a robot. But there's so many things that it can do that are so beneficial, especially when it comes to marketing and branding. I can train, I work with multiple clients. I can train an agent to essentially have their brand voice, know everything about their brand. And in that capability, I can help them basically have a system in place where their branding and their voice is really consistent. And that is what makes, great brands, is when you have a great brand voice, you're recognized. So there's things you can do with AI that is just going to get better and better. But there's going to be a point that we figure out, first of all, okay, how much of my time and my business is being spent on keeping up with this AI technology and learning and learning and learning? And am I wasting my time learning things that I don't really need in my business? Or flip side of it is you can't just completely ignore it because you're going to become irrelevant. So I think there is a very fine balance with AI between using it to automate and give you more time to make those connections with your clients. And then kind of the troublesome side of it is using it to make connections, because you can't make a connection with something that you want to see how people talk. You want to see their personalities. You want to see their crazy hands moving and all that. It's really hard to build something that has that. And I know they have the voice and all this stuff. And you know what? Maybe in 10 years from now, I'll be like, wow, this is my AI agent. It's exactly me. And I'm sure we'll get there. But right now, I think it's important to want to integrate technology into your business and automate things that are just stupid that we do all the time, your email and stuff like that. But not letting it take over so that you're losing your personalized yourself and your mission and your values behind it.
I think it's so true. And the way you use AI, as with one of my clients with their Amazon store, is writing a great the right description and putting all those different things in and asking AI what should be done. Utilize it as a resource and knowledge base. Don't expect it to talk to your customers. Okay, so what do we use in technology in sales? Because you kind of are getting me there, that are good things that you recommend us do right now, especially in the sales process, to automate so that we can be, produce more in sales, bring more revenue to our company, and scale.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think when it comes to sales, the thing that you should be automating is your lead gen. If you have your ideal client profile really nailed down, what you need to do proper lead generation, that should be automated. And systems like Apollo, Instantly, Scout, those are systems that automate that process. So you have those leads for you ready to go, and they're constantly being pulled. That's a great thing to automate. Now, also sequences, getting your leads into a sequence ready for you to rock and roll with is fantastic. And, I can go in and manually write a fantastic email that's personalized and send it. And then, my follow-up can be automated because it's just a follow-up. You don't need to hit them again with all the personalization. So you can automate all of these tasks to give you more time. But you can't automate that first email with the discovery and, the necessary amount of knowing someone to make them actually invest in what you're selling. But lead gen, I think, is a great thing to kind of have the automation. You can do a lot with that. You can pull everything from their company to scraping their LinkedIn profile. You'll have everything there. But the actual reach out, I think that still needs to be done by you.
See, I love what she was able to say, Scott, and it really makes us think and address these things. And these are real, as it used to be called, dropping gems on Clubhouse. When I was an OG on Clubhouse, she's dropping gems now till they created, something that's funny when they added gems to one of the Spotify social audios. So I try new things and go, but Scott, we are running out of time. What last question do you have for Ashley?
So I guess as a parting shot, Ashley, any advice for somebody like me who is, I've been kind of grinding away for a little bit, but I want to really drive success. I want to really be able to serve my customers. I want to be able to reach the right people. Do you have any parting advice for somebody like me?
Yeah, absolutely. And Scott, I think you're a great example of what I'm about to say. I think that leveraging your network, being curious, asking questions, getting involved with different experts. Our school community, I have filled it with experts from all different sides of the game for a specific reason, because it takes a village. We all can grow together and leverage each other's expertise to really get where we need to be. And there is no other way to do it. I have never seen a business be successful just kind of keeping in their bubble and not leveraging their community. And that's why we have our school community, is to build that out so we can lean on each other and grow together.
All right. Best place people can find information on you and learn more about you, Ashley. Where can they go?
Yeah, so best place is going to be LinkedIn, Ignite Collective Agency. You can message me directly, Ashley Bergeron, or you can go right on there and message us there. And then we have www.ignitecollectiveagency.com. We've got some information on there for y'all too.
All right. That was a special simulcast of the Neil Haley Show on the Business Spot.